Hi, my name's Philip Collett and I'm the Managing Director and founder of Goals UK. We're a community interest company, a social enterprise, and the majority of the work we do is around motivating people to want to work. But a lot of what we do now is building resilience on the front line. We work with many of the prime contractors and subcontractors delivering programs across the UK, including a lot of the work program that's going on right now. We work with charities, we work with colleges, prisons, youth offending institutions, local authorities, and a whole range of other organisations. So we work with staff and the clients to help the long-term unemployed people to get back into work. We work with homeless organisations, we work with lone parents, offenders, ex-offenders, disadvantaged young people, people with drug and alcohol problems. In one way or another, these people are failing or being failed. We've helped about 150,000 people to improve their lives. We train trainers. We've been around for about 22 years now, and we've got a good idea of what works and what doesn't work. In our experience over the last few years, what we're finding is that a lot of people who work within this sector are struggling. They're burnt out, they're desensitized, and it's really hard for them to get performance. So I want to share with you my take on kind of where we are now. From my perspective of having worked in this sector or these sectors for the last 20 or so years, it's pretty clear that we're seeing some deep fault lines in the fabric of society. For a lot of people, work is not really valued. We've got second, third generation unemployed people who really haven't grasped how important work is in a person's life. For a lot of people, school is a painful experience, and so the clients we work with have a fear of going back into that classroom situation. It brings up for them a lot of negative emotion. There are about 250,000 people at the moment who are on probation. The system is broken. Prison doesn't work. We have a cynical media. Bad news seems to sell better than good news. And when there is a bad news story, it seems to go on and on and on. So 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, we're still being exposed to that same negativity. People are isolated, alienated and scared. The securities aren't there anymore. Today, if you're lucky, you've got a 1 or 2 year contract. A lot of young people today are growing up in single parent families. The security isn't there anymore. Whereas it used to be nan and granddad living close by, and maybe an aunt and uncle, a community, doesn't seem to exist anymore. So people are isolated, they're scared, the certainties aren't there anymore. We live in a blame culture. Whiplash claims are up 300% in the last 3 years. It's always someone else's fault, and if it's someone else's fault, that makes me the victim. We're in an age of immediate gratification. I want it, and I want it now, and I don't want to do what it takes to make it happen. We've created another condition called learned helplessness. We've paid people for a long time for doing nothing. Benefits were originally introduced as a way of helping those people who couldn't work as a safety net. But for many millions of people now, that safety net has become a safety blanket. So we can't carry on paying benefits to people that are inactive. There's a big drive now to encourage people who are on incapacity benefit to get back into some kind of productive work. And yet, we know that this is probably a good thing because a lot of people were encouraged to go on incapacity benefit in order to bring down the unemployment figures some years ago. These people are now being told, we're sorry, we realise now that it wasn't a good thing for you to go on benefits and we want to encourage you back to work. Well, what these appeals, the amount of people now who are appealing against these work capability assessments have increased by up to 400%, and that's costing, in terms of appeals, about £80 million at the moment per year.